man, I missed 5%.
95%? That's very good, Zero.
Is it? Is it, Storm Eagle? What about your issue, huh? Is your issue going to get a 95%? Or I guess a 9.5? He's not even in here. Another month and another Mega Man X comic. Mega Man X issue 1! Even though Timeline's issue 1 was technically issue 1, but then last month issue 0 came out. Udon, you really gotta get your numbering scheme figured out, seriously. But yes, it is here, the continuation of the X1 story, and I actually got all the covers this time. So, yeah, we'll just go over those real quick. This one, being made by the artist of this issue, Hanzo Steinbach, who is also the artist of Mega Man Zero Timelines. And, got this one here. I already showed that one off. And, this one's actually my favorite, where it's recreating the Super Nintendo box art. One of the issue 0 covers that I did not have last time was recreating the original Super Famicom cover, or like box art for the Super Famicom release of Rockman X. So yeah, this one's really cool. And then, I mean, X, what happened to your chin, man? So I gave issue 0 very high praise, a 10 out of 10, and I got a message from a Mr. Proto Man here, saying that he watched my video, and he said that issue 0 is going to be the weakest out of all of these issues, at least storytelling wise. Now, I rated issue 0 based on both story and art, but he said the story was going to be even better in all of the issues following 0. So, is that accurate? So we kick things off from where Timeline's issue 1 ended off, where after scanning Chill Penguin's data, X found out that Storm Eagle had seemingly turned on the Maverick Hunters, and so him and Zero head to the New Type Airport in order to confront him. Seems the info you scanned from Chill Penguin was right. Yeah, Storm Eagle was the one who stole the Death Rugamer from the Maverick Hunters. He brought it to New Type Airport to load it with Sigma's units, as well as pick up some special cargo. Can't believe this is happening. I actually looked up to the guy! I wonder if his pal Storm Owl also. Can't worry about that right now. We gotta find Storm Eagle and stop whatever he's planning. That ship is Maverick Hunter property. I'll take the low road. You go high and head up that control tower. Figure out what these Mavericks are up to, and make good use of those new boots of yours! Yeah, right. X uses his dash armor upgrade to get through the airport and get to the Death Rugamer, where he's actually looking for something other than Storm Eagle, as he found out from Chill Penguin's data that another one of the light capsules was being transported on Storm Eagle's ship, where he finds it and he gets the helmet upgrade from Dr. Light. But then he hears clapping nearby. Very good, X. Storm Eagle? I was hoping you would come here to unlock more of your potential. I know this is all rather confusing for you, but trust me, I don't have much choice in the matter. What are you talking about? Why have you betrayed the Maverick Hunters? Call it honor, call it pride. I fought Sigma, he defeated me, and I swore loyalty to him. At least I get to face you, X. He seems to fear you the most. But that no longer matters. Storm Tornado! You're going to destroy the ship! You'll get us both killed! Shotgun Ice! You will have to do better than that, X. While Shotgun Ice is ineffective and Storm Eagle moves the bat to the outside of the ship, thanks to his dash upgrade, X is able to get the win by hitting him with a charged shot that takes out a wing, his arm, and one of his legs, where Storm Eagle then reveals he didn't actually become Maverick. At least, he wasn't planning to. He was telling the truth that Sigma did defeat him in combat. However, this was more of a test to himself to see if what Zero told him about X was true, if what Sigma is scared of is actually true. However, X doesn't finish off Storm Eagle. He tries to save him. He picks him up and he starts taking him out of the ship. They're about to jump out with X being able to teleport them back to base, but Storm Eagle doesn't want that. He gives X his special weapon, and he kicks X out of the Death Ruggamer before it fully explodes and crashes, where X is saved by Zero, and X starts lamenting about the fact that he seemingly can't save anyone.
Honor can too easily be lost, but it can also be re-earned!
Warning!
What the heck is... Storm Eagle, you traitor.
Thank you, X.
What was that?
Justice.
What?
At least, Storm Eagle's form of it.
Okay, you're gonna have to fill me in on what happened. And where did you get that helmet?
So, this story is definitely got more to it than issue 0 and issue 1 of Timelines. Let's just skip to it. I mean, yeah, okay, X, he platforms around and he gets the helmet upgrade. But the main thing about this issue, the main focus, is Storm Eagle. Now, Storm Eagle has always been one of the most fleshed out Mavericks in the whole X series, really. The fact that, unlike all of the other Maverick Hunters who joined Sigma's rebellion, he was the only one, usually anyway, that actively fought against Sigma, lost, and then decided to fight alongside him for various reasons. Usually it is regarding warrior's honor or pride. But I really, really like how they fleshed that out here. Now, they don't spell it out, right? They don't say exactly what this honor is, what his code is, why he did any of this. My personal read on this as to why he did this is because he wanted to see who was stronger. Because it seems like he goes by a might makes right sort of code and mentality. That if Sigma beat him, and Sigma wants him to join his rebellion, then that must mean that Sigma is right. But he's heard stories from Zero about X. He's heard stories from Sigma himself about X. And he wanted to know if X was truly the one that could take down Sigma and prove that Sigma is wrong. Let's compare this to Chill Penguin in Timelines issue 1, where X was looking for any survivors of the 17th unit, and Chill Penguin came down and got him by surprise, because this whole thing was a setup. Storm Eagle didn't do that. Storm Eagle looked for X, specifically, in order to have this fight. Which I like. I really, really like this plot for Storm Eagle, and it is arguably the best version of his character. The most fleshed out version. I just really like that. Now, as for everything else, I mean, it was fine. X and Zero show up, X finds the light capsule, which I'm not exactly sure how he knew it was here. I guess when he absorbed Chill Penguin's data, he got some message from Chill Penguin and Storm Eagle, where Storm Eagle mentioned getting something like that, but the whole thing, the upgrade that X gets from the helmet upgrade is being able to locate the other capsules, so I don't really know how he knew that that one was here, but that's okay. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, everything else was fine. I mean, we're slowly building up X's arc, where in this comic, his arc is essentially that he doesn't really know what he's meant to do. At first, he had no idea. He didn't know why he was created, why he was given a buster, like, why him of all people. Now, he's getting a bit more comfortable with that. At least he knows that Dr. Light trusts him, and Dr. Light wants him to do this, so he's going to do it. However, what he's still kind of unsure about is whether he's right for this, considering so far he's not been able to save anybody, necessarily, right? Like, obviously, what he's doing is saving humans, which... that is something, one problem with the Udon X comics so far, is that we don't really see any humans outside of Dr. Kane, even then that was only in a flashback. Now, to be fair, that's a problem with the X series in general, is that they allude to the fact that the Maverick attacks are harming humans, and they barely ever, if ever, actually show any humans. But still, it is a problem. Now, the art. Now, I have said my thoughts on Hanzo Steinbach in the Zero Timelines review. For those who haven't seen that, I think that his art is good. He is able to capture the Mega Man art style very well, and that carries over to X. And he is good at making the Zero art style look like the Zero art style, while having this look like the X art style. So that isn't a problem. However, there are a couple issues. First of all, his backgrounds just look so flat. I mean, granted, you know, it's just like a cloudy sky, but it just... there's not much to it, right? Like, we can even look back to the prior issues in the recap. Like, look at the snowy polar area here. And, of course, issue 0 with the highway and the neon color to it. Like, these backgrounds popped. These ones, not so much. And the impact issue. Now, it looks fine here, right? Like these shots... you know, coloring is a little off, but, like, it looks fine there. But then we got these panels. Okay, so, alright. X is charging his shot, charging his buster. It's really big, it looks really cool. Next panel. There is an explosion. Where is the shot? Like, you don't draw a charging attack, an attack with this much energy going into it, and then not show us the attack and only show an explosion. Like, the heck is that? And I know Hanzo can do a good impact shot with that, because, I mean, look at this. This is another charge shot panel, and it looks great here, except for the fact that we don't actually see X charging this, but, you know, it's fine. Like, look, I like Hanzo. I think Hanzo's art in general is pretty good, but there's a couple things that he needs to work on. Just a few tiny little things that would make the art just exponentially better. But I do think the art is fairly decent. Is it a downgrade? Yes. But, hey, you know, he could get better. This is just issue 1 after all, and I do think overall it is better than Zero Timelines art, so there is that. So, my final thoughts on Mega Man X issue 1. Yeah, it's good. I mean, if that hasn't been established already, yeah, I think this is good. I think overall this is a very solid issue. It's really the third issue, but like, yeah, this is solid. I especially really like what they did with Storm Eagle. This is the best Storm Eagle that we have ever gotten, and like, I wish that X was able to save him. You know, I might have to make a what if video about that later, because that moment was so good. It's so good. And yeah, you know, the rest of the plot was kind of basic. The art, while good, could be better, but overall, it's just good. It's just a good issue. I don't really know what else to say. We got the Mandrill next, so we'll just have to see what that issue brings when it gets here. Until then, guys, this is Penguin CJP, signing